Hello everyone! I hope you all are doing well. I miss all of you and I miss getting to meet with you guys. So for today, we are going to jump back into our timeline of the Bible. If you remember, before we had to stay at home, we were going through the timeline and looking at the grand story of the Bible. Where we left off was in Egypt with Joseph. If you remember Joseph, he's the guy with the coat of many colors who has the dreams, and he ends up saving his brothers from a famine. And he brings his entire family to Egypt, and they're favored in the eyes of the king or the ruler, Pharaoh. Well, many, many years have passed since then, and the new Pharaoh, the new king, he did not remember Joseph. He did not like Joseph's family, and he made them to do hard work. They became slaves in the land of Egypt. He didn't even want them to have baby boys. And so the people of Joseph's family, they were called the Israelites. And the Israelites were afraid of this mean king. So this is where we will begin today's story. You ready? All right, get comfortable. Here we go. One day, an Israelite woman had a baby boy. She wanted to hide him from the king because the king was going to kill all the baby boys. So she made a special basket. It could float. She put the boy in the basket. Then she took the basket to the river and she set it to float on the water. The baby's sister hid by the river to watch. She saw the king's daughter, the princess, come down to the river. The princess, she saw the basket. She opened it and she found the baby. She liked the baby. She wanted it to be her very own baby. The baby's sister went to the princess. "Do you want someone to take care of this baby for you?" she asked. "Yes," said the princess. So the sister ran and got her mother to take care of the baby. The baby's mother took very good care of him. When he was older, she took the baby to the princess. The princess named the baby Moses. And Moses grew up in the palace as a prince of Egypt. When Moses was much older, he grew up and he left the palace. He did not like to see how the king made his people work so hard. He went to another land, and there he took care of sheep. I wonder, what must it have been like for Moses to move to a different land? He'd been a prince in this one place, and now he was a shepherd in another. And so Moses goes to this other land where he becomes a shepherd. And the shepherds welcome him into their own family. And the sheep adore him as well. So there he took care of the sheep. One day, while he was watching the sheep, he saw a bush covered in fire. But it did not burn up. When he went closer to see the bush, God called to him,
"Moses, I want you to go to the king. Tell him to let my people leave Egypt."
Moses was afraid. But God said,
"I will be with you. I promise I will bring the people out of Egypt. I will lead them to a special land."
But Moses was still afraid.
"Throw down the rod you are holding."
Moses threw it down, and it turned into a snake. God said,
"Pick it up again."
Moses picked it up. It turned back into a rod. God said,
"I will use signs like this to show the king that I am with you."
So Moses went back to Egypt. He told his people that God would take them out of Egypt. He would lead them to a new land where they would no longer have to be slaves. And that, my friends, is our story for today. The story of how God cared for Moses even when things seemed impossible. In Moses, he followed God's word, and they together were able to take care of the Israelites. So that is where we're going to end our timeline for today. Bye! In our story, we just learned about how Moses listened to God. God likes to speak to us, but sometimes we're not very good at listening because everything else is so loud. Have you ever been unable to hear because everything else around you is so loud? I definitely get that way. There's people talking, there's things to do, there's so much going on. And so the spiritual discipline we're going to practice this week is a discipline of solitude. Solitude is alone, quiet, and private time with God. This is when you remove yourself from all those distractions to sit in silence with our Father and to hear what He is saying. God is always talking, but sometimes we have to quiet ourselves to be able to hear. And as we practice going into this quiet place to listen to God, we can then begin to hear Him in the loud places too. He is always speaking, and He wants us to join this conversation. So like I said, our spiritual discipline for this week is solitude. Try it out and let me know how it goes. Parents, if you want to join your kids in this activity, that would be wonderful. And we also have an activity you can do with them called noisy listening. The instructions for that are posted alongside this. But basically what that is you will be building a tower together, and you'll also be playing music at the same time. And so lots of noise in the background. You're going to be trying to build this together. And then you're going to slowly remove the music and see what it's like to communicate with each other with less and less noise. All right, friends. Well, I hope this goes well in your practice of solitude, and I look forward to hearing how it goes. See you later. Bye.